Dynasty Life back here, about to do a Dynasty draft with one of the guys,
Not one of the guys, the guy.
the guy, the Hammer himself. Um,
I'm going to show you guys how to build the actual championship roster.
and Dynasty, yeah, I mean it's tough. It's very different in Dynasty. I mean you could easily build a win now team. So it just depends kind of how you want to build your team, right? Do you want to win now? Do you want to, build a little 3 to 5 year window? Do you want to build a 5 to 8 year window? Who knows?
Or you could be me and do both.
And that's
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat in that Dynasty League where, I have a bunch of young guys as well as a vet or two that, should take me to the top. But let's start this year.
Oh, we got a bot in the number one slot.
Oh, bot hopped in. Look at that. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me see if anyone else is getting in there, Hammer. Check that chat.
Gotcha. Nah, nobody said anything, but I saw a bot hopped in at the last second.
I don't see him there now. Tell him he's on the clock. So but yeah, I mean, okay, Dynasty 101. What are you doing, Hammer?
101 Dynasty. Listen, McCaffrey scares me, and I love the dude so much as a talent. 101, I'm probably gonna go still Jonathan Taylor. Good case for Najee Harris or Justin Jefferson. So there's really a multitude of ways I could go. I'd probably lean Jefferson, Harris, or Taylor, one of those three, depending on how I'm feeling that particular day.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jefferson too. I mean, it's just the longevity just makes you kind of want to go wide receiver early, And
yes, in Dynasty, yeah. Chase was taking one.
So here in this kind of situation now, we've got Chase, Jefferson, Kupp, and Taylor off the board. So we've got CD still there. We've got Najee. We've got McCaffrey. We've got Javonte. We've got Swift. So, and, the guy that was on before, I think Jacob, I think was his name. Hopefully he gets on and sees this. But I'm going to go Javonte here. He's younger than Najee and McCaffrey. And, he hasn't been used as the workhorse kind of yet. So, yeah. I'm going to go Javonte there. And I would either go Javonte or Lamb. I can go either way, but I prefer Javonte just because he's really young. I mean, what is he, 22 or something like that?
Yeah.
22, yeah, he's 22. So, yeah, I like Javonte there. What are you thinking here now, Hammer, at the 10 spot? Let me see if I can.
So in the 10 spot, I mean, there's a lot of older guys, Henry, Cook, Mixon, older in terms of dynasty, which means on the plus side of 25 years old. I've never been a huge DeAndre Swift guy, but his combination of usage, being able to receive the ball, him only being 22, 23 years old, that's going to give me the longevity. Plus, he, like I said, the combination of rushing and receiving, his receiving upside in a dynasty is what really separates him right here. So I am taking DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, definitely. I love Swift right there. I think that was kind of, for me anyway, that's an easy choice. I love taking Swift there. So now that you got the comeback around to you, now what are you thinking here? I mean, as in Dynasty, are you kind of taking the best player available, or do you think you want to get a top guy at another position? Like, are you definitely going wide receiver, tight end, or QB, even if your top ranked guy is a running back? I mean, I don't know. Tell me what you feel.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking a wide receiver. Now here it's tough because it's Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, who's probably the youngest of those guys at the top. A.J. Brown, maybe. It definitely, I don't know, man. A.J. Brown, I don't like it. But I am going to take A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
His injury history scares me a little bit, but I didn't want to go. I was leaning towards Devontae Adams, but he's 29-30. I could have taken him, and I really thought about it, but AJ Brown's a young dude. He's going to be productive as long as he stays healthy. Never been a huge fan just in terms of the injury, but that's the route I decided to go. I could have went with Higgins.
No, and I'm not opposed to taking like another. Well, Breece Hall went. I was gonna say I'm not opposed to taking Breece Hall or even like Travis Etienne here, but I mean we've got Diggs, we've got Waddle, Hill on the board. Obviously, all the QBs still on the board. Pitts went, so I don't like any tight end position here. This is a tough one. I think I want to go Higgins. I think I'm gonna go Higgins.
That's
here.
The route
Because it's I mean
going, but
yeah, I mean that's what? What'd you say,
that's
Hammer?
the route I was thinking about going.
Yeah, because I mean I didn't have to go obviously RB, and then at wide receiver I got a guy that is young but also can produce right now. So already I'm building a young team that can still, produce right now. So I like that.
He's gonna give you the touchdown upside. So like that's really good, and he's playing with a young team.
And I love to. I don't see that right here. I think I got to reach a little bit. I think I want to take Joe Burrow. I think I want to secure my future as well as give me the stack. And it's not something I look to try and do all the time, like get the stack, but it's something that is just here right now. And Herbert and Mahomes are off the board. I don't have to worry about a QB for 10 plus years. I'm tied to Higgins, Javonte, so that's kind of what I was thinking there. I could have went wide receiver. I was thinking about going Waddle, or even, and those were some other options as well. So I can't argue if you wanted to go either way there.
Yeah. So in this spot here, I might surprise you just a little bit. I know DK is up there, but I'm gonna fade DK a little bit, and I'm gonna go with Jerry Jeudy.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a huge Jerry Jeudy lover just because he hasn't really done much yet. And I just like, who is Russell going to go to? Is it going to be Jeudy? Is it going to be Sutton? I mean, in Dynasty, I don't mind trying to take the chance on Jeudy if you truly believe in him. I mean, Russ can obviously support 2 wide receiver ones. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, so the reason why I went with Jeudy there is just the long-term upside. I think Russell Wilson's going to be there for a significant amount of time. Russell Wilson's not terribly old. He's only 32, 33. So I could see him having a kind of Matthew Stafford revival, type season after leaving Seattle for Denver with plenty of weapons. And I'm going to steal a page out of your book here. I've never been high on this guy, but he's young enough and in a young enough offense where I grabbed him at the 4-3. Only because there are other guys that are a little bit older. Kenneth Walker's not the full-time starter there. James Robinson does scare me a little bit in terms of Etienne's ceiling, but I think there's enough for 2 running backs, especially he's my RB2, and I already have the receiving upside with Swift. So if Etienne gives me somewhere in the 800, 900-yard range with 7-8 touchdowns out of my RB2 spot, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I love. I think I like DJ Moore here. Or
of course you do. You always love DJ Moore, no matter where he's at.
No, I might actually go Kenneth Walker. Let's do that. Let's do Kenneth Walker. So let's do Kenneth Walker. I like him there. I like him there in Dynasty. You're not really reaching too much. And then
you like his upside?
I do like the upside. I don't expect him to do much this year, but I think obviously going forward he can be the guy. I mean, Pete Carroll's already said himself he's like a 3-down guy. So
yeah,
I don't mind that at all. So now as we come back here, Treylon Burks is a guy that I don't know. I think I'm fading after all this stuff like you're hearing in camp, and now he's like not running with the ones and all this. So I think I like we could go Olave, Mike Williams, and St. Brown. This is a tough very tough decision. I think because I'm going young already, I probably would stick that way. So either one of these I would take, Olave, Williams, or St. Brown. I'm going to take Olave, I think, just because I'm not. I'm going to, yes, I am. I'm gonna, I'm gonna take Olave there, and I could have went Mike Williams, Olave, or Schultz was the three of the guys that I was looking at there. But I figured I'll just stay young. Olave is a guy that Mike Thomas is already hurt again, hurt in the hamstring already. So Olave could be the guy. They could get rid of Mike Thomas next year. If not that, he's probably not re-signing the year after. So Olave could find himself like as the number one guy, especially even this year if Michael Thomas still is hurt going into week 1.
Yeah. Now I'm a little torn here. I'm thinking about AJ Dillon. Well, and I'm thinking about really 2 or 3 guys here, but I think I'm gonna go AJ Dillon. I really do I do have a really good feeling, especially about the Packers with not as many proven receivers as they've had maybe over years past. So I really do think there's plenty of work to go around for AJ Dillon and or Aaron Jones to be fairly productive. I think AJ Dillon has a lower ceiling, but I think he has a fairly high floor for somebody that's my RB3 currently. So I like him in that spot with really good touchdown upside.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then think about just going forward. I mean, Aaron Jones ain't going to be there forever. What does he have, a year left? I mean,
about that,
they probably won't re-sign him. I mean, I don't know. Or if they do, at that point, Dillon is kind of going to be the main dude. So I like that, yeah, for now and even going forward. So yeah, I mean, I like what you've done so far.
And then I went with Dak at the turn on the 6-3. I could have reached for Jalen Hurts and stacked him with AJ Brown, but I'm not sold that the Eagles are sold on Jalen Hurts. And if Jalen Hurts would have had a long-term contract, I would have picked Jalen Hurts with the 6-3. But I think Dak just gives me much more of a higher ceiling than Jalen Hurts, and even long-term stability, which I talk about a lot from the quarterback position. Dak is 29, but I think his game will translate well enough where he'll be able to be my long-term quarterback.
So I'm a little torn here. I got 3 options. I got Schultz, I've got Mike Williams, or I've got James Cook here. Now, 2 guys that are picking after me already have a tight end, so I'm going to skip over that. So right now I'm kind of choosing between Mike Williams and James Cook, and I'm going to take James Cook just because he's obviously really young and in a great offense, and going forward he could get a lot more work. I don't expect him to kind of go off this year, but that's kind of what I'm thinking there. And then look at that, Sutton actually falls, so now I have the choice to go between either Sutton or Schultz. Schultz is not going to make it back to me. I know that. Obviously Sutton won't either at this point in time, but do I go with Sutton or do I go with Schultz? I mean, I can go with either one here, or do I even go with Jameson Williams and play the really young card? I think I want to take Sutton just because this team could probably compete, next year or within the next year or 2. So I think I like. I don't know, what is it?
I think him and Judy feel like Eric Decker and Demaryius Thomas when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, where you have 2 really good wide receivers and they're both going to be able to produce. I don't think Russell Wilson is as prolific as Peyton Manning, but I do think there's plenty of offense to be had there for both wide receivers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so I wound up going Sutton. I guess the main reason for that, obviously Schultz doesn't have a contract. I don't know if they're going to franchise him or whatever the case is next year. So, and I guess, yeah, that's kind of why I went Sutton, but I could have went either way. I could have went either Jameson, Sutton, or Schultz there, either kind of way. But I thought Sutton kind of just gives me that that upside, especially at like my wide receiver 3 position, because he could be a wide receiver 1 with Russell Wilson. He's, to me, it reminds me of the Seahawks. It reminds me of Lockett and DK.
Yeah.
It's your pick, bro.
So I took Allen Robinson here. I think I really do like Allen Robinson. I know he's a little bit older, but I really do feel like he'll give me some of that production for now. So between him and Judy and A.J. Brown, if Allen Robinson's my wide receiver 3, I'm very, very comfortable with that.
Yeah, so I mean, so far we got Burrow, we got Javonte, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Olave, Cook, and Sutton. I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. So, all right, what are you going with here?
Yeah, I'm looking. I like Ayuk. I like Renfro, Gabriel Davis. You can make an argument for it, and that's exactly who I'm going to take.
Gabriel Davis.
Yeah, he's my wide receiver 4 currently, so I got plenty of options at the flex position.
Yeah.
I like his youth, and him and Josh Allen seem to develop a rapport towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. So, if you're the number 2 wide receiver on a really good offense, there's enough upside there for me to take him in the 8th round.
Yeah, I mean, so here I'm a little torn. Tight end, I'm gonna wait because I don't mind getting like Cole Kmet down there. I don't mind doing that. I like Baby Gronk, so I don't know. But at wide receiver, I mean, Ayuk, Cooks, Pickens, I like, and Dotson, I like. Running back, Dameon Pierce. I don't know. Do I have to go running back again? I feel like Dameon. Oh man, I'm going running back. I'm going Dameon Pierce.
I mean, you're going to get a fairly quick turnaround.
I've taken a lot of running backs, but I feel like they've been like the best guys on the board. So, I mean, best case scenario, all these guys turn out good, and I can always, use them to trade. They'll have good value. So I think I'm done taking running backs here. But then see, now I'm up again, and I see Stevenson here, and I'm thinking, all right, this could be the RB1 in New England. If not this year, then next year. And, and I like Pickens as well. I really like Pickens. Now, I don't know if you remember Hammer, but Pickens was a guy that I was sending you fucking, tagging you and that the Packers needed to get that guy. So, yeah, I've really liked Pickens, and you've seen kind of what he's done so far. I mean, you can see some of the stuff from camp and in the preseason games. He's just been killing it. I don't love the QB situation there, obviously, right now, but
I think in order for Pickens to be valuable this year, they're going to need Trubisky to start. But I do think Pickens will, he'll be valuable down the road, maybe year 2, year 3. That's when you really see wide receivers really start to, outside of a guy like Jamar Chase, who just burst on the scene. Usually it's that year 2, year 3 window where you see the wide receivers really start to come into their own.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wound up going Stevenson. I took another running back, and I'm not one. I mean, you know me, Hammer. I'm not one to take a bunch of I take a bunch of wide receivers, but the way just this board is falling to me, I just feel like I can't pass up on this, especially in Dynasty, because I'm not really trying to fill out my starting positions right now. I'm just trying to build a roster. I'm trying to build value. So these guys, I mean, there's just a ton of value where I can make moves. I can get picks. I can do kind of whatever I want if I need to, but I can also kind of, even perform right now, to try and win. So, I mean, I think I'm a little kind of weak to win right now just because I don't know about Kenneth Walker at the moment, what he's going to do for this year. Olave, it's his first year. Dameon Pierce, same thing. But let's just say like Stevenson busts out. Javonte busts out. T. Higgins and Burrow are going off. Olave is doing his thing. And then I'm right there in the picture. So
I'm really torn right now between Jahad Dotson and Allen Lazard. I think Allen Lazard has the higher ceiling for the next 2 to 3 years with Aaron there. And Dotson is obviously a little younger. I'm going to go Lazard just to give myself plenty of options at the flex spot. So I went with Spiller. and then Lazard on the turn. Lazard's not an older dude, but I always feel like, because when guys get drafted by the Packers, they don't produce right away. Usually it's that year 3, year 4, year 5 window where they start to break out, like a Devontae Adams, like a Jordy Nelson. The Packers do have a history of drafting really good wide receivers and, having Hall of Fame quarterback for 30 years. They're going to be productive. So I like his upside, as my 5th wide receiver.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, I mean, now here on this comeback here, let me show y'all what we were looking at here. So after I took right here Sutton, Pierce, Stevenson, I went, instead of just grabbing a tight end, I grabbed Pierce and then Tolbert. So now I've got again some more nice young wide receivers in kind of good situations that gives me a good chance to, have some upside for now, but also, going down in the future. So I'm kind of really liking this team that I've put together so far. And I feel like the picks have been coming to me where, obviously there were a couple different picks you could choose from, kind of, who you want, but I don't mind kind of what I did here so far. I do need a tight end, and I'm hoping that Cole Kmet could fall to me. It looks like everybody's pretty much got a tight end, except for you, but and you probably sniped me out. There goes Kmet. So yeah, so now obviously I'm gonna need a tight end. What are you thinking here, Hammer? You took Rondell Moore there. What's your thinking on Rondell Moore?
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray's gonna be there for a while. DeAndre Hopkins suspended. They do have Hollywood, Zach Ertz, and James Conner, but I feel like there's enough room, and Rondell Moore, obviously, he's going to be on my bench to start, but he's a good plug-and-play. He's explosive, so he doesn't need a ton of touches to turn, to turn into a good productive fantasy day. But I like his upside. He's a young dude, and, the value I feel like there could be really good. I really heard good things about this guy out of Denver, the tight end. I'm going to go with him.
Fucking guy just sniped me again. But yeah, I mean, Rondell Moore, I feel like, is a guy that can have like fucking 90 catches for like 600 yards. Like, really short, short screens and stuff like that. And I think I like him for at least the first 6 weeks while D-Hop is gone. After that, I don't know. But then again,
yeah, he could be my flex. But also, too, remember, D-Hop's getting a little bit older. He got banged up down the stretch of this last season. So the upside is there. If D-Hop goes down, if Hollywood, misses some games, he could be a really good bye-week fill-in or a guy that I could put in my flex spot. And if he has one of those days where he, catches, 3 passes for 75 yards and a touchdown, now I'm in business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do something crazy here. And I'm going to take Calvin Ridley because he fell so late. Just so, number one, I can have like a vet for next year. And then also, just so I got some trade bait for maybe something this deep in the draft. And instead of going tight end there, I didn't see a great amount of value that's still on the board at any other position. And I wanted to take McBride, but I wouldn't be mad if I didn't get him. So I don't mind taking. I got Irv Smith, Joku. He got the deal over there. Watson is going to be there, so he could be a good pick.
I'm going to tell you something. Don't sleep on Hunter Henry. Mac Jones loves him some Hunter Henry in the red zone.
They got what's his name there now too.
Devontae Parker.
No, the other tight end. And he's healthy now. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look into it in a second.
The guy from
I'm gonna take Irv Smith because I love the Vikings.
You've been waiting on Irv Smith for the last 3 years.
Yeah, that was kind of a biased pick. You could take Joku there, but Irv Smith could be a big sleeper, especially in that new offense. But who's the? Why am I bugging right now? Why can't I think of it?
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith, and he's been getting work in the red zone there at practice. So that I guess kind of worries me. And he was hurt last year. That's why Henry was the only guy, deep down there. But now,
But he developed a rapport with Henry, bro. That you can't discount that.
He did, but now also he's also developing a rapport now with Devontae Parker as well. So, and that's where he was getting his work down in that red zone. But yeah, I mean, I could have went either way there at tight end. Smith, Henry, Joku. I prefer either Smith or Joku. Probably Joku more long term, just because he's tied to Watson. Irv Smith is more of like kind of an upside flyer type. I feel like he could have a good floor. So, all right. Let's see. What are we going here? We can go running back. I see a guy that I like at running back. I don't see a ton of guys I love at receiver there is a guy I like at receiver, but I can get him on the next comeback. So this is what I'm going to do.
There is no comeback.
I'm going to take another guy. Oh, there is no comeback? I only put 14 rounds? No, I think there's more. Oh, damn. I thought I did 16 rounds. But I mean, we could have obviously did this forever and picked a ton of different guys. But I picked Pacheco here just because could get that upside. I mean, CEH can never stay healthy. He's looking like he's the number 2 back and not Ronald Jones. So I like Pacheco there. And then there was a wide receiver. I hate that you can't see it. Like, you can't see who was left. There was a wide receiver that I wanted to take next. I forgot who was.
I could see it. I could see it on my app. What team was he on?
Who's the wide receivers out of there?
Nicole Hardman, Van Jefferson, Odell, Peoples-Jones.
I remember. Nico Collins, one of my sleepers for this year. But Houston. Nico Collins, I wanted to take next. Showed out in the preseason game, is killing in camp. I mean, even Davis Mills is like, nobody can jump with this dude. Not many guys can play with him. So I like him. And Brandon hopped in and did he auto pick like every pick? This guy, he probably did.
Yeah, basically.
So anyway, let's see my squad here. We got Joe Burrow, Javonte, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Olave, Irv Smith, James Cook, Cortland Sutton, Damian Pierce, Stevenson, Alec Pierce, Tolbert, Calvin Ridley, Pacheco, and I would have took Nico Collins on the comeback. He was down a little bit, so he would have definitely lasted. But yeah, that's my team there. And let's see, Hammer, what you got, bro? Go over your team. Let's talk about it.
We got Swift, AJ Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Etienne, AJ Dillon, Prescott, Allen Robinson, Gabe Davis, Isaiah Spiller, Alan Lazard, Rondell Moore, the tight end from Denver. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Nyheim Hines, and Romeo Doubs, who Romeo came in, and at the 14th pick, if he can establish himself as even the wide receiver 3 on that team, I feel really good about that. And what's really interesting is, the Packers are my favorite team, obviously, and I haven't heard squat about Christian Watson, which makes me a little nervous. I've heard more about.
He's been hurt. That's the problem.
So I think Watson's stock is going down, and guys like Alan Lazard and Romeo Doubs, their stocks are on the way up. And if Aaron Rodgers trusts you, that's a foot in the door. So I think between Lazard and Doubs, I probably won't play Doubs for a while, but in 2 years, if Aaron trusts him, hey, not
even. I mean, Aaron has said he said even now, like, they hold Doubs to a higher standard than normal, for rookies that are coming in. So, and Christian Watson just hasn't been on the field. The only thing Christian Watson has going for him is that, he was picked in second round, right?
Early second. The
only thing that he's got going for him, because right now Doubs is just flat out better as from what we've seen so far.
He's been on the field. There's no substitute for being on the field.
Even when Watson was on the field, though, Doubs just looks better. He just looks more explosive. He's had a couple issues with some drops, and I know Aaron Rodgers kind of called it out, all of them out.
That's gonna happen, man. Like,
but yeah, it is. Aaron Rodgers he just got to keep his cool. These guys they'll get it. They'll get it. But
I think there is a little bit too of an intimidation factor when you're coming in as a rookie playing with Aaron Rodgers. So if you could fight through that and really gain his respect and gain his trust, I think that's gonna go, obviously go a huge way for him being productive. But he was my last pick. He's probably my wide receiver 5 or 6 down the board. So, but the upside looks really good with him. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, and Aaron Rodgers is a very mysterious kind of dude,
Yeah.
So you can definitely see, where, and especially he's definitely like a Hall of Famer. So I mean, you can definitely see where you can be kind of nervous. Obviously, there's a ton of pressure for you to produce because they've got nobody there. So obviously, all those things take into account. But I think on this draft, I think we both drafted young guys that can also compete right now.
Yeah.
In the future. So I like both of our teams actually. I mean, the oldest guy you've got is what, Allen Robinson? I think the oldest guy I've got is
Allen and Dak, yeah.
Sutton, I think. So, or Ridley, I guess. Yeah, Ridley. But I felt like I couldn't pass on Ridley there with the guys that were on the board, just to take as as a flyer kind of thing, and just have.
If the draft was a little deeper, say 16, 18 picks, he's worth it. Maybe a little lower, maybe in that 13, 14 range, just because, we don't know what he's going to look like when he gets back. We don't know what that Falcons situation. We don't even know if he's going to be on the Falcons. There's just too much uncertainty considering, he got the year, but he can be an asset down the road. I just don't know. I'd rather have somebody that I could use now and in the future, like a young guy,
I mean, definitely, but look at where I took him. Look who was around there, Davis Price, Boyd, Hubbard, Herbert, Gage, Robbins, Mechie. I'd rather take the chance on Ridley down the line because I don't need him right now, and I know he's definitely not staying in Atlanta. He's gone. But where is he going to go? He could wind up going to the Packers next year, and then what do you do at that point? You can keep him, or you can sell him off to the highest bidder. So that's why I took him there, just as because I don't expect him to play for Atlanta again. I don't. What do you think? He was trying to get traded before that. They were trying to trade him. So
yeah, they were. I think he was supposed to go to the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles looking into him hard. I know the Jets were trying to get a wide receiver hard body too. So,
what's interesting too with the Denver situation? I just pulled up Jerry Jeudy's his little profile thing, and the fact that Tim Patrick has a season-ending injury a couple of weeks ago just bodes well for Jeudy and Sutton, and obviously the tight end as well out there in Denver. So I think that's really, you hate to see, guys get hurt, but the reality of the situation is it's going to benefit both Jeudy, Sutton, and, their tight end. So I really feel like Jeudy is ready for one of those breakout seasons. Maybe not a ton of yardage, but he's going to get the catches, touchdowns. Everything's going to be there. So I really like Jerry Jeudy as a breakout candidate.
Yeah, I mean, I said that's good. I didn't mean that's good that Tim Patrick is actually hurt. I just meant that's good for Jerry Jeudy.
And Cortland Sutton, for that matter.
And Cortland Sutton. The only thing about Jeudy is he just hasn't stayed healthy, obviously, and he hasn't cracked top 30. I don't think so. He hasn't,
to be fair,
done that yet. And yes, he hasn't had a great quarterback, but I mean, so what? Look at DJ Moore. Look at some of these other guys, that don't have QBs as well. So it's I still see Jeudy as a little bit of a risk, but I don't mind taking it because he has Russell Wilson. I mean, how bad could he be? So that's kind of how you got look at it. It's who else is he going to throw to? How bad can he actually be? I think it's just a matter of him actually staying healthy, really.
Well, yeah, he had the ankle injury his rookie year, I believe, or was it last year? I don't remember. I think it was last year because I thought he was poised for a breakout last season, and then he had the ankle injury really early. But I think the quarterback stability is really going to provide him with an opportunity to just bust out and get to work. So, and like you said, you got Sutton and Judy, you got the tight end, there's a quarterback, you got two good running backs. So I really truly feel there's really high upside with Jerry Jeudy. The dude's 23 years old.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. Obviously, he's got going from. But yeah, I mean, I like who I drafted, who I wound it up with. So I'm happy with this draft, as I was able to get some nice young guys that can perform right now and still give me, a possible chance to win now, also in the future. So I like your team too, Hammer. I mean, you took my guy, ETN. I'm going to try and get ETN in our home league. I like ETN. I'll pay whatever price. I know there's still some question marks, obviously, with J-Rob still there, but I'm ETN guy, man. I like him. I like that he can do both.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Robinson thing does. I don't want to say it scares me, but it does.
Of course, it does.
Give me a little cause to pause because we know what he's capable of. So what if Robinson gets really hot early? You know what I mean? What is that going to mean? So there's always going to be room for two running backs in any given offense, as we've seen over the last 20 plus years in the NFL. So, it doesn't worry me too much, but if you're counting on him to be a RB1, I think that, that really shouldn't be how you view him as a RB1 going into the season.
So let me ask you this, because as I just said, I want ETN. What is ETN worth? What is a price that you would pay for ETN, or what do you think is a fair price for ETN?
I guess there's a couple different.
Say in general, or you can even refer to our league. I don't care. My team.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna
put it in those terms, or just in general terms, how I would approach it, no matter what the situation was. Number one, what does my running back situation look like currently? Because obviously that's going to affect how you're going to go after him. If he's slotting in as your RB2 or even your RB3, really, if you have two good running backs, which, a lot of people, struggle after the RB1 spot. So
he'd be in the flex.
He would be your RB3. He would be your RB3.
Basically, yeah. Unless I trade someone else and then make him an RB2, but yeah, technically, RB3.
Which I think going into the season, if he's your RB2, sort of RB2 flex territory, you could part with a first round pick. I mean, he's fairly young. Depending on how good your team is, it's probably going to be a late first round pick. We have 14 teams, so you'll probably be picking anywhere from 10 to 14 in that range. You know what I mean? I do think he's worth a first round pick. How far are you willing to go? Are you maybe you could give a second round pick and an additional player?
No, I mean I'm okay with giving up. I'll give up. I probably don't want to, but I'd give up penny and a first for ETN.
I don't think Penny's value is that high, considering they have Kenneth Walker.
Who is hurt right now? Don't forget.
Which is fine and understandable, but he's still there. You know what I mean? It's not a season-ending kind of deal where we know Rashad Penny's going to be the.
Yeah, going forward, yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is because of who that team already has. I mean, I think they got Brees and Chubb, to fit. Even if you fit Walker in the flex or not, I mean that team has a ton of options on the bench that they could go with, in the flex. But I guess what I'm saying is fair value even would be, like you said, first round pick. Would Penny and a first round pick be justifiable for ETN for you, or more than?
Yeah, I would even go. Yeah, I would go. I mean, a player and a first round pick for him, sure, if that's what you're willing to give up. I think you would have to give up Penny with the first round pick because Penny's value isn't as high as, maybe I feel like even though he had a good end to the season, his stock is a little bit lower in terms of his obviously overall value and then long-term value. So, Penny in a first round pick, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just, with Robinson looming there, it's just, am I getting, but long term, I think he'll be just fine. So Penny in a first round pick seems like decent compensation.
I'll probably add a fourth in there just to put the cherry on top. But,
yeah, I wouldn't. If I had Etienne, I wouldn't take that.
If you have what?
If I was the one trading Etienne away, I wouldn't take Penny in a first round pick. But
what would you take?
If that was the case, I don't want Rashad Penny because I don't think he's going to be productive if he's slotting, if I'm trading away like Etienne. You know what I mean? So it would take maybe a first and a second or a higher end player, maybe a wide receiver and a first, or a wide receiver and a second, depending on the caliber of the player.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few wide receivers. I mean, that team, yeah, they've got a ton of guys on the bench that could play, but I feel like they would like to have a running back that can play just on the bench. But I wouldn't mind giving up, a wide receiver. I don't really have much. I mean, I got McKenzie, or I would give up like Bell. I'll give up what's his name?
David Bell.
Yeah, I give up like David Bell in the first. I mean, obviously David Bell probably not the first half of this year is not going to go crazy, but he actually looked good in that game. I think he had like 4 or 5 catches.
Yeah, I just think Etienne's value is just he's a RB2 right now, but by season's end he could be a RB1. I don't see James Robinson being there long term, with them drafting Etienne, because listen, if they really believed in James Robinson, they wouldn't have drafted Etienne to begin with. You know what I mean? So I think we were all surprised when they drafted him. So I think, they really feel like Etienne's the guy. So, his value is even higher.
Yeah, I think my problem is I do have a second, but I wanted to try and use that to get Melvin Gordon. I don't have another second until 25, I don't think. So yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't mind to give up Penny, even though he's not worth much. He's worth obviously a little bit of something, but even if I gave up like Penny a first and a third, or I guess I could do a second too, but I still gotta get Melvin. That's my other problem.
Yeah.
That is my other problem. But yeah, I do kind of. I don't know. I'm eyeing ETN for some reason. I've just. I don't know.
Listen, when you lock in on a guy, you lock in on guys. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely guys that I've locked in on in particular drafts.
I don't mind giving away. Like I have Dalvin. I don't really want to give him away just because I know he's got a few years left only, and he's like elite talent. And I have Madison, so I'm not really like worried about if he gets hurt or not. But like I wouldn't mind giving up Dalvin for something like a wide receiver, a young wide receiver, or adding a pick and getting a wide receiver. Like I tried to get JJ. I tried to get T Higgins. I try to get CD, and yeah, I was offering
trying to get all the best young guys, like just offering people.
That's the point. You got to see what you got, see what you can give up. Like I almost gave up the whole shit for JJ. I mean that dude was asking for everything, but I had like a nice deal where I had like I think I had Dalvin, Madison, Freiermuth, and DK. For JJ, which is a lot, but I have like the assets kind of to give up. I still have to make a move like for an ETN or something to get like a RB2 then. Or no, I mean I still have Pollard and shit.
So this is gonna come as some breaking news. I haven't said this shit to anybody. I haven't told anybody what I've been doing in the background, but Fuck it. I feel like I'm gonna share it here. I actually put in an offer for Justin Jefferson today.
You put out offers
I
for
did
today. Yeah, well, you got Cup and you got Chase, so
I do.
I feel you.
So I offered Cup and a first round pick for Jefferson today.
Yeah, he's gonna want more than that. I don't think that's gonna be worth it. Apparently he wants like 3 starters. Like he sent me a trade back for like he wanted Amon-Ra, DK, DJ Moore, and Cook. Like some
That's too much. That's too much.
That's ridiculous. That's all. But I get it. That's where if you're gonna give him up, it's got to be So for me, I mean, you can say I guess you can say a cup and a first is technically like decent compensation for it, but you don't want want compensation. You want to bring in something that's really going to help you, because typically like cup and a first is not going to help you tremendously, with losing DJ. So
if that trade was accepted, nobody would have a problem with it.
No, I mean probably not. Like I said, it's kind of the value, but like you said, like ETN is worth, you said ETN is probably worth the first, but if you did it, probably nobody's like gonna bitch and complain about it. Like it's kind of worth that. But if you had ETN, you'd want more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know what? Listen, if that's the starting price, I remember I have 2 first round picks.
Yeah, me too. That's the thing is I got some things to play with. I got a couple things up my sleeve that I'm thinking, but then again, you got to wait till the season too, because shit be happening during the season that you can use that to to make trades as well.
I
need a veteran to kind of push you over the edge. If you have an injury, you need to make up for. If there's a team that's just not doing good and they have some old players on their team, they might want to get rid of them for some picks. This way they can try and build instead of, dying with some of those guys. So,
and to be honest with you, I was really hesitant to offer Cooper Kupp just because he was so good for me. Like he basically he carried me to the chip.
I said, so is JJ, but you just get like an extra 6 years or some shit like that.
So, and listen, I cashed in a lot of my chips. I was able to trade for Jamar Chase and not give up Cooper Kupp, which I feel like that was just a home run for me.
Yeah, that was definitely a W for you. I like that.
I gave up Derrick Henry, I gave up DeAndre Hopkins, I gave up some other guys, but to have Jamar Chase paired with Joe Burrow was awesome. But, I put the offer out there, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I still have Cooper Kupp. So, but, man, I just
definitely won't take it. I mean, I offered like 2 firsts and a couple guys. He's not going to do that. He wants a haul, and which I understand. So I'm not mad about it. I offered a couple things for T. Higgins as well, but I think right now I like where my team is, and I just think I want ETN. For some reason, I just think like I just want him, and I think that's what I'm going to go out and get, and I'm willing to pay like whatever it is. So if I got to throw 2 firsts, I mean that's a little overboard, but I mean 2 firsts got Hollywood Brown, right?
Say that again.
I said 2 firsts got what? Hollywood Brown. Who did he trade? Who did this guy get Hollywood Brown for? He gave up 2 firsts and Robert Woods, right?
No, Robert Woods and a first, I believe.
2 firsts.
And Robert Woods for Hollywood?
Yeah. He sent a 24 first and a 23 first for Hollywood.
Let me plug back on that. So
2 firsts. It was a lot.
Yeah, I didn't like it from his standpoint.
I bought Dalvin.
Don't
forget I bought Dalvin for 2 firsts and Hunt, but that was last year. But actually, I didn't really mind it compared to who kind of was there in the draft at that point in time. So I didn't mind giving up the 2 firsts for Dalvin.
So it was Hollywood Brown for Robert Woods and 2 2024 first round picks.
Oh, 2 2021st. There you go. It was either, that's what I thought. It was either 23 and a 24 or 2 24s. Okay. So yeah, he gave up 24, which obviously might not seem as valuable right this second, but obviously once that 2024 season comes up and that draft comes, that's cash money to basically do
Rebuild
whatever.
your roster. Yeah.
You mentioned you have 2 firsts. I got 2 firsts too. So year, so you can use that to cash in on shit either now during the season or after the season.
At the draft or in the draft, you could take guys in the draft.
The most valuable those picks will be after that draft, after the NFL draft happens. That's when those picks will be extremely valuable. If you're in a league that doesn't do their rookie draft until after mini camps and OTAs and all that stuff, you even get a better idea of kind of
the situation,
situations and stuff. So that all depends there. So, but yeah. What else was I saying? So yeah, I think I'm trying to get ETN, and I'll give up whatever for ETN. I don't care. I still do kind of want to get Melvin, but I really don't want to pay a second. I think he's not worth a second, but I'll do it, I guess, if I have to. But I might not have a second. I might have to give up that second for ETN.
Yeah. Might have to come off that.
But that's all right. At least then, God forbid, Javonte gets hurt, I still got ETN. But anyway, I mean, this was a dynasty draft for you guys. I think I'm just going to do one every night for the rest of the week. I'll do a redraft and a dynasty one just to, practice and get ready. I think I'm going to have my actual personal home league draft next week. I think Hammers is the week after. So
yeah, we are really, what are we at? August 23rd. We got 2 weeks from Thursday is the first game, Buffalo and the Rams.
And I think I'll be home for both drafts, so I'll try and just stream both of them live, like as we're doing the shit. So
I like it a lot.
Those are ESPN though, and ESPN is a little like out of whack as far as like the rankings and stuff and the ADPs. Like it's not like updated the best. Sleepers, it does a really good job. But you kind of got to know at ESPN and Yahoo. I think you kind of got to know a little bit. You got to know your shit a little bit more. So you might have to slow down a little bit to find the guys that that you like or you have ranked higher than certain guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're on top of your shit and you know your shit, you know the guys that you're targeting and your pivots if they get taken. So, but listen, tune in here and we'll give you our picks, our sleepers, our guys to look for late in drafts, mid round, good value, guys that might be bigger names but are better value in later rounds. So it's it's getting down to crunch time. I'm stoked, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, like, comment, subscribe, write some comments in there. What do you think? Questions you have? You can follow us on Instagram at Dynasty Life Fantasy. It's on the bottom there. But I mean, I answer questions pretty much all day about fantasy shit as we are approaching everyone's draft and season. I was thinking of just going live on Sundays from like 1 to 4 for the first games. I mean, I can't stream like the red zone, but like I can watch it. I just can't have like the sound and shit on. They don't allow you to do that, or otherwise they'll sue my ass.
Yeah, but what you could do is you could stream the matchups that are happening in.
I could what?
That would be cool.
Yeah, I could stream the matchups in our.
You could stream the matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
You could definitely do that, and I could just be the the red zone guy for YouTube. I'll watch it and comment on the shit myself. But yeah, I said I'll watch it and comment on shit myself. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Like I said, I'll be on tomorrow. I'll probably do the same thing tomorrow at the same time. So I think I'll do a redraft at 9, and then again at like 10:30 I'll do another dynasty one. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on Instagram because I post the links to that in there. I do have to try and figure out how to do how to say that we're doing one on YouTube though, but I'll figure that shit out. But all right, anything else, Hammer?
Nah, that's it, man. Let's get these drafts rolling. Definitely plug us in. Get us some of your questions, and take the best advice from me because I know how to put together a team.
No, I mean we both put together some nice teams there. But all
Yeah,
right,
hell
yeah,
yeah.
we'll catch y'all tomorrow, which is going to be the 24th. So 9 p.m. Eastern for redraft, 10:30 for Dynasty. All right, you can get in the drafts, or you can just watch and follow, ask questions, whatever. But other
Yes,
than that,
sir.
and I'll see y'all tomorrow.